She is the worst offensive player.
She's not very offensive competent,
so
bro.
Caitlin Clark laughing at Angel Reese's missed layup.
Generational meme.
To lose the game. Here it is. Here's the video. She can rebound everything, but bro.
Angel Reese, possibly the greatest basketball player in the history of America. Oh, wow. Look at those moves. Yeah, that shot is really hard with the hoop wide open.
Who's the best player in the country?
I feel like I'm the best player in the country.
WNBA draft. The Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark, University of Iowa.
Angel Reese stood in the middle of the paint with her arms spread wide and her mouth open, yelling at her own teammate to clear out and give her space to work. That is the image now circulating everywhere, and it could not have gone viral at a worse time. Just minutes after demanding that much room for herself, with no one standing within 3 feet of her, Reese caught the ball on a completely wide open look at the rim and missed it.
A key three. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, ATL is going to actually win this game. And then we get down to the end of regulation, you guys. And I'm like, okay, Ron Howard, open three. She's going to hit it. No, she does not. Angel, you got it. Put back layup, game winner. No. And then Nas again caught it, put it up. No. I'm just like, oh my God, like, are we serious? How does that happen? And all of you guys, baby, my girl, Angel, all right, back up off her, okay? Like, back up off of Angel. We know that she missed that layup.
The Atlanta Dream went on to lose that game to the Indiana Fever in overtime. By the time the final buzzer sounded, many people watching were asking the exact same question. If Angel Reese needed that much space just to get a shot off, what happened when she was actually given all the room she needed?
The Dream had the ball for the last shot, game's tied, and Angel Reese has a bunny layup basically by herself, uncontested, and she cannot make that layup. She had 14 rebounds yesterday, 5 of them offensive. I'm not sure how many were off her own misses because I was at camp and got home for the end of regulation and then overtime. But her making that or missing that layup, you just knew. And she looked kind of crestfallen, and she should be, because you ought to be able to make a damn.
That moment has now become the focus of a much bigger debate about who Angel Reese really is inside the Atlanta Dream locker room. Is she the vocal, demanding leader she wants people to see? Or has the amount of noise she brings on the court started to outweigh her production when the ball comes back into her hands after a game like this? That question is not going away anytime soon.
Oh, best player. If your best player for Atlanta could make a layup, I wouldn't have this gleeful smile that I have on my face right now. It's a layup. You're 1 foot away. Make it, please. You have a fast break layup by yourself early in the game. How you shoot fast break layups at 50, fast break layups by yourself at 50%? I don't know. I can't explain it. But Caitlin Clark, 26 points today.
This is not some minor detail buried deep in the box score. It may be the biggest storyline to come out of the entire Indiana Fever versus Atlanta Dream rivalry this season, and it has very little to do with Caitlin Clark's shooting or Indiana's depth. Instead, the question is whether Angel Reese's own teammates may have quietly reached a breaking point with her. Reports and reactions coming out of Atlanta have painted the picture of a team that is frustrated, not necessarily because of losing games, but because they feel they are constantly adjusting around one player who does not always deliver once the ball comes back into her hands. That type of frustration does not develop overnight. It builds possession by possession, missed easy shot by missed easy shot, until eventually it spills out in front of the cameras for everyone watching at home to see.
Reese, in particular, her energy shifted. I thought when she got some of those easy baskets to go in the paint.
Let's go back to Angel really quickly, though, because she was part of the catalyst that you saw to be able to change things around.
It's been there. Like, sometimes the basket is too open.
I can't believe we had to listen to that garbage the entire halftime, the entire broadcast of the game while she is blowing the easiest first grade 1-inch layups you'd ever see. And Caitlin Clark is out there hitting logo bombs in her face, dropping 26 and 9 for 12 straight games. Instead of saying she's playing at an MVP level, they're out here glazing Angel Reese just like her fans do on social media. Caitlin Clark gets no love, not considered in the MVP conversation, will be the only player in WNBA history to be top 3 in points and number 1 in assists And they're sitting here glazing Angel Reese. It's all about Olivia Miles and Paige Beckers, which her team's winning. She's breaking all the records.
Here is the part that hurts the most for Atlanta fans watching everything unfold. Look closely at the sequence, because it almost plays out like a joke writing itself. Reese yells for her teammate to get out of the way. The teammate moves, and she receives the ball in the open space. It is exactly the situation she asked for. But instead of taking a controlled shot or making a simple, smart pass, she throws the ball into an area where absolutely nobody on the court can make anything productive happen with it. Not a teammate standing under the basket, not a rebounder crashing in from the weak side. Nobody at all. The possession simply ends right there. For a player who has spent much of the season presenting herself as a vocal leader and facilitator for the Atlanta Dream, that kind of possession does not strengthen the case she has been trying to make for herself.
I know that everyone says that mic and drills don't work for basketball, but if there's one person on the face of this raggedy planet that needs to do mic and drills until their wrists fall off, it is Angel Reese. I have never seen a human miss that many point-blank layups regularly. Angel Reese, she doesn't just see everybody, oh, she missed a game winner, her palms are sweaty. Nah, she misses regular lays all the time. The little putbacks, the million rebounds is a symptom of her missing point-blank layups. Is she left-handed? Because it's always a right-handed, I promise you, with the same coverages she has to get through, I can score that. I can do that. Father of three, regular nigga. Right? I promise you, I could shoot a higher percentage right there at the basket to Angel Reese.
Fans usually do not have a problem with a player being vocal on the court. What is much harder for people to accept is when a player demands control of a possession, gets exactly what she loudly asked for, and then completely wastes the opportunity. That kind of repeated pattern can quietly begin to change how teammates view someone during a timeout huddle, whether anyone ever says it publicly in a press conference or not. Cameras captured more than one moment where teammates appeared to exchange quick, subtle glances after another possession ended with nothing. Nobody dramatically threw their hands into the air. Players are trained to stay composed, but body language rarely hides everything. And the quiet reactions coming from that bench seem to tell their own story just as clearly as anything that could have been said later at the podium.
I don't know how y'all do it. I don't know how y'all defend her. The score is 81-81 in the fourth quarter. 6 seconds left.
Atlanta Dream has the chance to win this game.
Then this happens.
5 seconds. Howard launches. Missed it badly. Reese the putback. Won't go. Hillman, no.
Like, I truly do not understand. Angel Reese is a professional basketball player. Why do she miss so many layups? Like, look. Layups is like the second thing that you learn when you first start basketball. The first thing is how to dribble a basketball. Then the coach will bring you down to that block, exactly where she missed that layup, and teach you how to shoot off that square. But I don't think nobody taught her.
Whatsoever.
She lost them that game. Y'all can say whatever y'all want. If she would have hit that layup, game over. Game over. I had nothing to say. That layup was wide open. If y'all don't think that was wide open, that's bullshit. Aaliyah Boston was right behind her. She could have hit that.
Then came the moment that truly decided the outcome of the entire game. With the score tied and the clock winding down in regulation, Atlanta had the exact opportunity every team hopes for in a hostile road environment. The ball found its way to Reese, who had a clean, uncontested look at the basket with nobody nearby to challenge her shot in any way. This was not a difficult, off-balance attempt launched under pressure with 3 defenders closing in. It was about as wide open as a shot can be in professional basketball, with the season's narrative seemingly resting on the result. She missed it. The rebound stayed alive, and teammates Ryan Howard and Naz Hillman both scrambled for a follow-up attempt in the final seconds, but neither was able to convert. Regulation ended tied, and Atlanta watched a golden close-range opportunity slip through its fingers in the worst possible way. Well,
Angel, your team on a 17-4 run right now. You started that with a 7-0 run. How did you kind of get things going for your team?
Yeah, I mean, I was playing like in the beginning, but it's a game of runs. You got to put that in your back pocket just because you know you have teammates that have your back.
Pushed under the hoop just enough to not have a great angle. To OT we go.
The frustration on her face afterward said everything words did not need to explain. She stood there for a moment with her eyes closed, clearly replaying the shot in her mind, and clearly unhappy with what she saw. Missing an opportunity like that in front of a packed arena, with an entire rivalry storyline surrounding the afternoon, is not something that is easy to shake off in a single moment. But showing visible frustration afterward could not change what had already happened. And it certainly could not erase the overtime period that followed, where Indiana steadily pulled away and calmly finished the job.
About her missing this shot for the game, it's not necessarily that she missed it, it's the reaction to it. After she missed, this Caitlin Clark walking past laughing, bro. And y'all know how these two fan bases are, so they are loving this picture right here. The main reason it bothers me too is because it makes it so easy to overlook everything else that she actually does on the court. Like defensively and obviously rebounding wise, bro, she's incredible. I just need her to fix this so they have something else that they have to say.
This is what really sent social media into a frenzy within minutes of the final buzzer. As Reese stood there dealing with the missed shot, cameras caught Caitlin Clark calmly walking past her toward the Fever bench with a clear smile on her face. For many viewers watching live, it looked like she was laughing at the entire situation. No one can say with complete certainty what Clark was actually reacting to in that brief moment. But context matters, and for Atlanta, that context was brutal. The internet had spent weeks building this matchup into another chapter of Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark, especially after Atlanta had gotten the better of Indiana earlier in the season. Yet when the biggest moment arrived, with everyone watching specifically for another chapter in their rivalry, Clark appeared calm, composed, and completely in control, while Reese looked like she wanted the floor to swallow her whole. That is what transformed an ordinary missed shot into a viral moment that became impossible to escape overnight. It was not simply that Reese missed the layup. It was that Clark's expression, whether intentional or completely unrelated, became the perfect visual summary of the entire afternoon for millions of people scrolling through their phones. One player came through when it mattered. The other did not. The cameras just happened to capture both reactions one after another, and the internet took care of everything else.
Say that she's not good?
Who, Angel?
Yeah, she's not good at basketball. Like, I'm tired. Look, we've said this in the past. I'm tired of it. I can't lie anymore. Like, I watched her miss 8 layups. She could be averaging like 25, 26 if she could make a layup. And the way she lays it up, it's like she's just learning how to, like, you know, when toddlers finally learn how to walk, they fall a little bit. It's like she just learned how to do layups once she got to the WNBA. It makes no sense to me. Like, she could be so much better. And for someone who has her own podcast, she talks her stuff, you would think she's the MVP. You would think she's that girl over in Vegas. But no, she's closer to AZ Fudd than she is to homegirl in Vegas. So, yeah, there's that. She's been an inefficient player. I feel like we hype her up because she's grabbing rebounds, but
here is exactly where the disconnect really begins to stand out. If you only looked at the surface numbers, Reese recorded her 23rd double-double of the season, just a few away from a WNBA record that has been discussed throughout the year. 15 points, 14 rebounds, and 6 assists sounds like an impressive stat line at first glance. A lot of the media coverage after the buzzer focused heavily on those numbers, presenting her performance as another example of her toughness and consistency. But look one level deeper, and the picture changes quickly. She shot just 5, 4, 16 from the field and missed her first 6 attempts before halftime. She also failed to score a single point in the entire fourth quarter, the exact stretch when a team needs its frontcourt scorer to step up. And on the 2 most important possessions of the entire afternoon, the 2 opportunities that could have ended the game in regulation, she came up empty on both, one after another. That is the real difference between an eye-catching stat line and what actually happened when the game was hanging in the balance. A double-double can look impressive inside a broadcast highlight graphic, but it means much less in the locker room when the player behind it goes scoreless in crunch time and misses the very shot that ultimately helps decide the outcome.
At a regulation, and it just didn't go down, and then we had to try to compete in overtime. I thought players try to execute the game plan really well, especially defensively. It's just disappointing to come up short. We just had to move on to the next play. I mean, we did what we didn't run there was supposed to be one screen in there, and we kind of forgot the screen. But then Rye, took the shot, and we told those two to, really crash the boards and give us a second chance. They both did exactly what we asked for them. And then we got two looks, right at the end of the game that, could have won it for us, but, they rolled out. Just kind of a bad.
Atlanta Dream head coach Carl Smesko sat down for his post-game press conference and tried to keep things diplomatic, just as coaches are trained to do after a heartbreaking loss. But if you watch the footage closely, you can see the frustration sitting just beneath the surface the entire time. Reporters repeatedly steered the conversation back toward that final possession, and each time, Smesko appeared to choose his words carefully, almost as if he were holding back a stronger reaction. He referenced the final minutes several times during the press conference, returning to it again and again even after reporters had moved on, almost like he could not completely let it go. When a coach repeatedly comes back to the exact same closing stretch without being prompted, it usually suggests that the moment is bothering him far more than his measured tone is revealing. Dream.WNBA.com 1.
It happens like we know any other time like Angel will make the shot. I mean, she knows she'll make the shot, but in that moment, you just got to encourage your teammates. Like, no one person lost us the game. It's a team effort. And just like she's with us when we're struggling, we do the same thing for Angel. I mean, it's a sisterhood. Like, we really love each other, support each other. So, I mean, I'll put everything on the line that the next time she gets a shot like that, she'll make it 100%. It's just this time she came up a little short, but I mean, I have all the faith in the world in Angel that she's going to finish her shots.
Teammates did exactly what teammates are expected to do in a situation like this. Alicia Gray, who scored a career-high 32 points in the losing effort, spoke to reporters afterward and publicly defended Reese, saying, "It happens. No one single person lost the game. It was a collective team effort from start to finish." That is exactly the kind of professional, locker room-approved response you expect after a difficult loss. On the surface, it sounds like complete unity. But pay close attention to what was missing from that statement. Nobody directly denied that Reese's miss was the biggest moment of the entire game. Nobody claimed the loss had nothing to do with her specifically. The defense offered afterward was carefully worded to publicly protect a teammate, without pretending that everyone inside that building had not just witnessed what happened with their own eyes.
I think we're playing pretty well right now. I think we have a lot of players playing well, and I think we feel pretty good about the direction of the team. Now, road trips are tough, and I mean, the first thing we got to do is, go to Vegas and be ready for them. But, I feel good about our team. We'll have to take a day tomorrow and really kind of rest up because obviously a lot of people played some really heavy minutes, so tomorrow's probably just a film session. And then we're going to have to get ready to give the same kind of effort if we're going to beat Vegas as we gave for most of today.
This is where the bigger picture begins to come into focus once you step back from any single game. Reese has been fairly open all season about wanting to be seen as a genuine vocal leader on this roster, someone who constantly communicates, directs traffic, and holds her teammates accountable in real time. There is nothing inherently wrong with that approach. Plenty of great players around the league are loud and demanding with their teammates during high-pressure games. The problem begins when the results do not consistently match the volume. She has openly admitted to struggling during stretches this season, even saying at halftime of this very game that she felt she had gotten off to a rough start and needed to correct things quickly. Fans, and reportedly some voices within the locker room itself, have started connecting the dots between a player who regularly demands space on the court and a player who does not always capitalize when that space is given to her. That combination is exactly the kind of thing that can quietly weaken trust within a team over the course of a long season. It is one thing to demand a lot from your teammates when you are consistently producing results that clearly support that demanding tone. It is something completely different when the demands remain just as loud, but the finishing does not consistently follow from game to game, especially during the moments that ultimately decide whether a team wins or loses. Atlanta had already beaten Indiana comfortably in their earlier meeting this season, with Reese playing a genuinely strong and efficient role in that victory. This time, with a much bigger spotlight and higher stakes because of the growing rivalry storyline, she fell short when it mattered most, while Clark simply did not.
I will say, though, as far as advice, is that for whatever reason, in the WNBA, like women's basketball, a lot of their layups, they don't finish like wide, like outside their body. Everything is like up in the cylinder. You know, a lot of people look down on like the mic and drill, like basic stuff like that. I feel like that's all Angel Reese is missing, just a little bit of touch. And once she gets that, then she's really going to be putting up wild numbers because she's getting to the basket. If you know what I'm saying? If you put 20 points within 15 rebounds, it's low-key the best player in the league.
None of this means Angel Reese is finished as a player, and none of it takes away from the double-doubles or elite rebounding numbers she has quietly built throughout the season. Her overall body of work still places her firmly among the league's better rebounders. And one difficult overtime loss does not erase months of consistent production on the glass. But the perception inside a locker room can change very quickly when something this visible happens in front of so many cameras. Losses like this, especially with so much national attention surrounding them, tend to speed that shift up rather than slow it down. If teammates begin feeling like they are constantly clearing space and giving up their own opportunities for a player who does not consistently repay that sacrifice when it matters most, frustration usually starts building quietly behind closed doors before eventually becoming visible to everyone. Atlanta's coaching staff now has a genuine decision to make about how crunch time possessions should be distributed for the rest of this season and possibly beyond. After such a painful loss in a game carrying this much attention, that decision will not be any easier for Carl Smesko or his staff to make. The rivalry with Indiana and Caitlin Clark is not disappearing anytime soon either, especially with both teams continuing to meet on the schedule and both fan bases amplifying every moment involving these two players. The next time these teams meet, everyone connected to this story will be watching closely to see whether Reese responds to this moment with growth, or whether the same frustrating pattern simply repeats itself in front of an even larger audience.